Hello, this is Glasgow Rangers Nation. I'm Owen James, and this is all your latest Rangers news, guys. Look, news this afternoon about John Souttar, our central defender. Now, look, the whole John Souttar situation is slightly clouded and slightly complicated by the fact that he has only got a year remaining on his deal. Now, there has been discussions around a new contract, I'm led to believe. However, those contract negotiations were then put on hold once, obviously, the takeover kind of started. And since the takeover has happened, I haven't heard anything further as regards a new contract for Big John. This is a situation where I think Rangers are in a position where they've got to take a decision, really, genuinely, because, if John is a player they want to retain, if he is a player they believe has a future at the club, then they do need to obviously sit him down, try and get him tied down to a new contract, given the fact he has only got 12 months left on his deal. We can't be facing another Alfredo Morelos, Ryan Kent, Borna Barisic, John Lundstrom situation where he walks for nothing in the summer. Souttar has obviously, I think, progressed as a defender in his time at Rangers. He is a defender that divides the fan base. Of course he does. But Trabzonspor, apparently from Turkey, are interested in signing him. Now, look, I get straight away there will be a sense of kind of doubt in this one. There will be a sense of, whatever. Because the Turkish media are well renowned for there being a clickbait factory. They are, well renowned for it. The number of times that Alfie was allegedly off to Turkey, during his time with Rangers was astronomical. Never happened. However, I am led to believe, not only, I've checked this in two sources now, this has obviously been sort of reported by Scottish media. Obviously, a number of Scottish media sources are reporting this, but not only that, David Edgar from Heart and Hand has also verified this interest as well. So you've got a double lock on this one, and one of them obviously is David Edgar, who is extremely reliable and not a man prone to clickbait, prone to making stuff up, and prone to putting out rumours. So the interest is real. Trabzonspor are genuinely interested in signing John Souttar. Look, I think this obviously is a situation that is very interesting. Like I said, he does divide the fan base. There are a lot of fans, including myself, who really rate John very highly. I think our defence looks a lot more solid, a lot better with John Souttar in the team. Would be reticent to lose him. I think, with Nasser Giga and Manny Fernandez, he will form, I think there'll be we've got three very good central defenders to rotate through there. My big fear, obviously, is that John Souttar leaves. We don't replace him. Obviously Leon King leaves, Robin Proper leaves, and then we're kind of scratching around for central defenders, and we're a bit stuck. Obviously the Connor Cody deal may still go through, which obviously would be good if it did, but I'd still rather have Connor Cody, Nasser Giga, Manny Fernandez and John Souttar as our central defensive options. One thing that absolutely gives me the fear is seeing James Tavernier play at central defence, given the fact that, according to statistics, he is one of the statistically worst defenders in aerial duels, something you need to be good at to be a centre-back, and one of the worst defenders in Scotland at one-on-ones, again, something you need to be good at as a centre-back. And also the fact that James Tavernier is good at one thing and one thing only, which is crossing the ball into the box. And if you play him as centre-back, he won't do that. So there you go. So John Souttar to Trabzonspor. I mean, like I said, this is a rumour that has started. There is a real genuine interest there. There is no words on what the fee is that is been offered for Souttar. There isn't. Obviously, at this moment in time, it is all kind of hush-hush kind of thing. But, there is an interest there. No concrete fee, because obviously there have been no negotiations between Rangers and Trabzon. I think, look, John Souttar, for me, the positives of John Souttar is he's good in the air. He's one of the best defenders aerially in Scotland. Really, he is actually genuinely, according to FB Ref, one of the best this is not just my opinion. This is according to statistical. That's not easy to say. Analysis. He is very good in the air. He does put his body on the line. He does throw himself in the way of shots. He is a good blocker of shots. His tackling is not bad. There is the other side, of course, that he has a mistake in him. Yes, he does have a mistake in him. He is prone to mistakes. But, I'll tell you this for a fact. If John Souttar didn't have that mistake in him, then would he be playing for Rangers? Or would he be playing somewhere else? Like, for instance, in the English Premier League? or in one of the top 5 leagues in Europe if he didn't have that mistake in him? That is a question. And it's interesting that some people will make the excuse for some of our players that they they score goals, or they create goals, but yeah, they do have the odd dodgy performance, or they do miss the odd chance, or they do slight ball goes astray, or they miss the odd tackle, or they give away the slight goal, and they'll make excuses for those players. But Souttar, straight away, they're on his back and criticising him and calling him pish and mince and all these other words. Yet certain individuals within our team, naming no names, will get a bypass no matter what happens. Like I said, I personally rate Souttar. I think that when he's played last season, when he has been fit, he has honestly made the team look better. He's made the defence more solid. I think when he came back into the team against Fenerbahce away, we looked a lot more solid than without him. The obvious big drawback, obviously, other than the odd mistake that he has in him with John Souttar, is around his fitness. He is very prone to ankle injuries. If you go back through his career, ankle injuries are a major issue with John Souttar. In fact, I was having a little look over recent history, and since the 2019-2020 season, if you look at the injuries that he's had in that time, you had ankle injury, ankle surgery, Achilles tendon rupture, Achilles tendon rupture, ankle injury, ankle injury, ankle injury. In fact, he's missed around 50 games in his time at Rangers through ankle injuries. So it's quite obvious that there is a weak spot in John Souttar in his ankles, and that is obviously a bit of an issue with Souttar. So that's obviously something we've got to look at. The fact that those injuries occur, that he misses a number of games because of them, and maybe that is the point where we have to cut our losses and say, look, Big John, you've been fantastic for us, you've done really well for us when you've been fit, but it's time to move on. Like I said, personally, I still rather he got a new contract and stayed with the club. I think he's a very good player. He's made, in total, for Rangers since his move from Hearts, he's made 94 appearances, scored 4 goals and assisted 2 goals. All his experience obviously has come in Scotland. 162 appearances for Hearts, 94 for Rangers, and 73 for Dundee United. Look, if it is that John Souttar does move on and he is sold, and that Robin Proper is sold, and that Leon King is sold, although that is looking increasingly unlikely, with Leon King reportedly saying that he wants to stay and fight for a place in the Rangers squad this season. I do believe that we do need to go out and strengthen. We do need to go out and get more defenders, because I think if Souttar's gone, then you've really only got Giga and Fernandez, and we only actually own one of those players to play centre back. And please don't come at me with James Tavernier as centre back. Like I said, I don't think he is a centre back. He is positionally poor. FB ref, check it out, guys. I'm not hating on him. I'm reporting you statistics here of what it tells you about him as a defender. Aerially poor, one-on-one poor. These are things that you need to be good at to be a central centre back. So, it is a concern that if Souttar does go, that we do need to look at replacing him. Like I said, that gives us just Giga and Fernandez. Now, the big thing we've got to think about, guys, and consider is that the European squad for these qualifiers needs to be named by Thursday the 17th of July at 10 p.m. 2 more players can be registered the night before the first leg by 10 p.m. Monday the 21st. So the deadline is 10 p.m. on Monday the 21st to register more players for this tie if you haven't already registered them previously. So for me, getting in Connor Cody, getting in another, I think is absolutely vital for Rangers if Souttar is sold. It's interesting that this has come up post what Russell Martin said the other day, where he talked about us having enough centre-backs and been happy with the centre-back group, that now this story has emerged of a transfer to Trabzon. It's worth noting as well that John Souttar has 2 former teammates at Trabzon who may attract him to go there, in Borna Barisic and John Lundstrom. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. Guys, if you've enjoyed it, please like, comment, share and subscribe as we seek to grow the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you soon.